Here, I'm gonna put this
Wonderful.
down. Thank you.
I like that. Wonderful outfit. It's got an early crusader in there.
It is. It's a little right.
Yeah, I love your singing voice.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm not much at sycophancy, but it's terrific. I read somewhere that you weren't too keen on it yourself, that you didn't...
My voice?
That's true, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like it better now. I must say, I think it's a little bit better. I went to this woman and she's a vocal coach. I never went to anyone before, but I worked with her, and I think I've improved it.
I think it's terrific. You're very lucky to have it. It's like a brass bell.
Thanks.
Terrific. Why have you moved back to music? Because was it always an option with you? Were you always intending to do the acting and then come back to...
No, as a matter of fact, I don't think that I was really intending. What I was wanting to do was I wanted to be an actress, and everyone was saying, well, you can't because you're a singer, so I just gave it up. And then there's a man on Geffen Records, John Kolodner, who's really fabulous, who's just... If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have made it. He just kept bothering me and saying, you really shouldn't stop singing. And finally he said, you should just trust me. Let's make this album and see how you feel about it and see if it's any good. Because I don't know, I thought that maybe my best work was already past in singing.
I'm sure that's not true. But I mean, I think it's quite a good idea for you to do. I don't think it will invalidate what you've done in acting. And you've certainly done a great deal over the last few years. Has it surprised you?
Yeah, it really has, because I wanted to be an actress, but I didn't know that I'd really be any good at it. My sister said, "Oh, I'm so glad you're good, because I would have been so embarrassed." But I mean, it was something that I bothered my family with since I was a little girl, and then my family, even though they loved me, they kind of were afraid that if I left what I was already famous for to do something that is difficult, and I didn't succeed in it, it would be very, very crushing.
Obviously, the rock and roll and the singing prepared you for acting, because it is acting on stage as well as singing. But are you a natural actress? I'd say you are. You probably... Did you do a lot of learning? Was there a big learning process before you...
Well, when I met Sonny, I'd been taking acting lessons for about, I guess, 4 months. And then I moved back to New York to take acting lessons, and I got a job. And every time I would get a job, they would say, well, I don't care if you take acting lessons, but please don't do it while you're working for me. And so I just kept working, and I never took lessons. And then Meryl said to me once, she said, I don't think you should take lessons. She said, because it might ruin what you have. So I didn't.
You don't know what it is that you have?
No, it's just something.
Yes, I think she's right. You're best leave it alone. It's been very successful. Some wonderful movies like Mask and Silkwood, for which you were nominated for an Oscar, weren't you? And this one, The Witches of Eastwick.
Yes.
Do you like that? Because I've seen it and I love it.
I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's a very adult movie, very, very adult comedy, with lots and lots of levels, depending on how you want to go and look at it.
Yeah. The thing about the film is it shows that not even the devil himself can cope with women.
That's true, as you see in that last scene of his in the church.
Yeah. I mean, how are ordinary men supposed to cope?
Oh, I think they've got at least as good a chance as the devil does.
Yeah. What about your own relationships with men? You've had a couple of divorces, and you're seen with men who are younger than you.
Yeah.
Would you not like to once again have a more mature relationship, or are you going to?
Well, I think I have a pretty mature relationship. I mean, just because my boyfriend is younger than me, it doesn't mean that he's really immature. I mean, I'm much more mature than he is. So if you're asking me, do I want to get married or do I want to settle down, or I feel that I'm not really looking to get married, and I feel in my business and for the place that I am in my life right now, I'm about as settled as I'd like to be. I'm kind of happy with where I am.
Yeah, we wish you luck with the record.
Thank you.
Congratulations on it. And some more new movies coming up as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Cher. Thank you for joining us.